Hi there, welcome to another educational video documenting my Web3 expedition. In this video, you'll be introduced to earning ARC points. It's very possible that ARC ends up with an airdrop. They raised 222 million in funding. Now, typically you would think there will be no airdrop, but this is a builder type of ecosystem. It's associated with Circle, the powerer of USDC. So it's a productive platform altogether, especially for builders. And these days you can build, you can contribute as a builder, as a developer, considering there are AI tools. So why not participate? You evolve productively. You can end up building a project that the community adopts. And in the event of an airdrop, that turns out a tangible bonus. So superficially looking, you may not want to participate, but they've structured their community endeavor orderly such that anyone can participate. This video will introduce you to getting started. So link will be in the description and you would be brought to this portal. This portal, you will need to sign up with your email. Okay. And that's a good starting point. Then as much interaction with this portal, whether in terms of consuming content, registering for hackathons, for live stream events, all that, you can register for them. Personally, on this platform, I'm going to focus on building tools because I like what they represent. You know, they're powering a stable coin and an agentic economy powered by stable coin that is, and basically abstraction in all realms when it comes to dealing with USDC cross-chain. So the narrative is very strong. You will see, you'll be exposed to the narrative in a bit when we look at the documentation. The essence of looking at the documentation is for those who want to build. I'll give you some pointers in case you want to start building on the ARC network. So it looks like Circle, those powering USDC, they are building a chain, you know, for stable coin oriented projects and for USDC. And this is going to be the chain. It's called ARC network. Okay. So, so how do you earn points? First thing you want to do is join this Discord. Interestingly, I have not joined the Discord. The Discord is gated such that you have to go through an entire application process where you pitch to join. So I've not yet fulfilled that yet. So I will discuss that in another video. But there is a form, you know, you'd freely tell them why you want to be in the Discord. I think that's a huge step if you can get in the Discord. You have to fill up the form. You have to go through an approval process. So you'll see here 24,712 members, not that many for such a big project. That's because it's kind of a gated experience. So I've not yet applied there, but I will, and I'll tell you if I get approved to join in and all that. Now, points. You wouldn't know that there is actually the ability to earn points here, and there are different levels. So we will see if we can uncover the information required to so you see here I've earned 42 points. And much of it was from interacting with that portal we saw earlier that has different content. So if you read those content, you watch the videos, 4 points for the video, 2 points for reading content, and so on. Checking in daily, you'll earn 1 point and stuff like that. So that's very easy. So you can go to content here. There's a lot of content you can interact with, including videos. Recently, the ARC white paper was released. You know, there is hint of an ARC token. You can see it here. So who knows? There may be an airdrop. They raised 222 million in funding. So you never know. Okay. Now, this, for those who want to go in seriously, then this is a good start, the ambassador program. So let's look at that very quickly. And here you will see that ARC's ambassador program recognizes individuals who actively contribute to the growth and success of the ARC ecosystem. Now, I see on X, many of the people contributing tangibly, they are building stuff. So they share what they build in the form of content. You'll see popular topics here. There's pointers to agentic commerce, autonomous. Anyway, we're now approaching Web 4, where agents are part of blockchain and all that. So a hybrid type of situation. So you may need to evolve to that realm, even with respect to airdrops. Now, there's also testnet here. I've not interacted with the testnet. I don't know if the testnet is open, but I will not be. I would assume it's still on testnet. And if you are going to be building now, you would likely be building on testnet. So you'll see here there is tiers and benefits. There's also roles. This doc defines how participants in the architect program can grow into different responsibilities as they progress in tier, outlining what each role does. So this article will tell you about that. Then there is ARC engagement amplification. So you can also contribute content and get it amplified by the Circle X account. This article explains that. Contribution opportunities. This document outlines approved and proposed activity architects can complete to build their reputation in the architect program, the architect's program terms and conditions. Okay, so let's just have a scan on this. I'm not yet an ambassador, by the way. I just started. I have only 44 points. It's obvious here that you need 500 points. Users who have earned at least 500 points and opted in to the program by agreeing to these terms will be conferred tier 1 status and designated as architects. Now, for many people I see on X, they celebrate, this status here. I've hardly seen someone, with higher than 500, although I've not been paying that much attention. So for this architect, for this tier 1, the perks is access to the ArcHouse architect topic group, right to display digital architect badge that is tailored to your tier status, event invites to select architect only events, opportunity to join the ARC booth, teams at select conferences, and okay, so at the very least you need 500 points. In this tier 0, there is practically no benefit, so 500 should be the basis. Now it looks like you have to opt in, and there is a terms and conditions portal here, so you would need to have 500 points. Then I don't know if that is when you'll be able to opt in here. Let's see if there's any button. Okay, so there's no button or whatsoever. Maybe when you get to 500 points, you'd have access to that. I'm not very sure. Okay, that said, the next one is 3,500 points. Who have earned at least 3,500 points will be automatically conferred tier 2 status. So a lot more perks, access to tier 1 benefits, opportunity to be featured. I'm not going to read all this, go through it. Okay, now knowing that, let's look at architect role. We have a hint on architect role already. So tier 2, I think you can be community moderator. Once an architect reaches tier 2, they may apply to become a community moderator. You'll also be able to meet up, to organize meetup, technical speaker. So it's assumed that if you're in tier 2, you would already know about the ecosystem. Roles. Now this one is important for those creating content, because how would you submit the content, all that. So it says this guide is designed to help ambassadors and community contributors better understand the types of ARC related content that are most likely to align with Circle's brand, and in some cases be amplified by Circle channels, including ARC, build on Circle, and potentially at Circle. So maybe if you are creating content and all that, I don't know if it's relevant to tag them, but you can go through this, increase the likelihood. So ensure consistency across all ARC related content. Now, I don't know if you are supposed to have, at least tier 1 status to participate here. Okay, so it says refer to it as ARC avoid variations, arc. Anyway, you have to go through this if you're into creating content. I don't know if it's relevant to tag them and all that. So token-centric message, they don't want a token-centric message such as airdrops, incentive, focus on the product and utility, which is good. Avoid unapproved partnership claims. So you have to go through that if you're interested in creating content. Contribution opportunities. I think we've seen this already, at least a glimpse of this. Okay, so this document, so ID verified identity 100. Finish onboarding, completed user profile 50. Participated in after March 31. Now, I don't really know what this is. Community engagement, ARC beta testers provided feedback on products and services 300. So I need to study what this is. Make a guest post in ARC House 200. So there is also rewards for, like publishing content on this portal. But I don't know if you'll be able to at the moment. I don't see anywhere where you can submit content and all that. So the aim right now is to reach 500 at the very least. And that will be, like a start. Then you apply also on the Discord. Because here, when you click on my courses, it looks obvious that you can, create a course here, for example, or schedule a live stream. But I don't have access to all that as we speak. My certificates, no certificate. My groups, no groups. So albums, my groups. Okay, so join the Discord. There will be more inquiries there. But for the sake of some, additional context, with respect to what I'll be doing in terms of my contribution, personally, I'm in the building phase. So I would like to build tools related to Circle. I don't know if that will count as a contribution to ARC, but if you want to go ARC proper, then you can start at the ARC documentation. I believe this is still in testnet mode. So at a basic level, you need faucet, and no, maybe not faucet. This is stablecoin powered or something. I'm not very sure. I've not interacted with the chain. But they do have provision for AI. They know that these days you can use AI. So these are different use cases, things you can build, deploying contracts. You can start here. This is the very basic build with AI. They provide you an MCP server. So to get started, you can provide this, for example, to your agent. I have an agent you can use for free. Now, the good thing about that agent, it has a computer, very easy to use. It also has hosting embedded. So you don't have to, you can see what the agent is building for you. So that may be a good start. And you can use it for free. So it gives you your own computer, all that. And let's say I wanted to start. Let's say I just put I want to build. Now, for more complex building, you can change models, but this is a free model and it's also good. So what it will do is it will read the documentation, incorporate that MCP and have all the skill it needs to be able to build an ARC already. It will read it, study it, and then you can start building either entirely innovatively on your own volition or following templates that are available on the docs. So let's leave it at that. You may want to get started. If you're interested, I'll be documenting my own expedition and all that. Before we go, let's just see what this brings. You can even tell it based on this MCP. For your inspiration, you can just start small. Maybe deploy a smart contract, just simple, or set up an agent. But anyway, it will have the scope of what's possible, or you can read the documentation yourself. Okay, so here it says, now I have a good understanding of what's needed. The ARC network MPC server is documentation server with 2 tools. Oh, let's wait a bit. So don't forget, I'm going to work hard on this app which I'm building to fill it up with a lot more information. I'll add Arc here. But remember, I'm not too into airdrops are secondary. I'm more into productivity. So I'll just add it here as a prospect. So everything added here, it will come with its own publication, tutorial, videos, and executionals. So this is an execution layer for everything airdrops. It leads you to early stage projects and all that. Check it out. I'm still building it, so leave feedback. You can add it to your home screen. It has a point system. So that's that. Let me leave that. Don't forget to subscribe to Web3 Wikis on all socials. So for recap, let's see. So this documentation is not a blockchain RCPMCP. Wow, it's still loading. So just be conversational with your AI. Know that this AI agent can do everything because it has its own computer. It can even build for you offline. You don't have to be with it. You can set it up to run even when you're sleeping. So it's not a traditional chat LLM. It's an autonomous agent, considering it has its own PC. So you can even tell it, oh, give me 10 app ideas, build, and then it will give you where you can host it here. So you'll be able to see what has been built without having to deploy externally, all that, because it has hosting embedded and all that. So very good tool. So I wanted to just, not to leave without having like a insight into, so it says what kind of MCP blockchain, okay, your own project MCP. Do you want SDO? I don't know what that is. Transport. Let me know the direction I can start building, given your interest in agent marketplaces and AI. Let me know which fits your vision. Is Arc Network still in testnet? Now, if it's a mainnet mode, you should think also like a founder. You can build an app that earns a revenue and is productive to others already. So that's why I'm asking this question. Is it in testnet? If it's on mainnet, my orientation when it comes to building changes, because I would want to build like a live product. Testnet, very easy. Okay, so yes, Arc Network is still in testnet mode as of May 2026. Okay, so token pre-sale signals they are moving towards mainnet, but you still need to use testnet for development. The Arc team has been clear that testnet is live for developers to build on. Okay, so it's actually a USDC faucet USDC as faucet. Okay. So that's that. Let's leave this video at that. Subscribe to Web3 Wikis on all socials. In the description, there are a bunch of productivity tools and airdrops there. Check them out. Stay awesome. Take action.